At the end of this lesson, teachers will know what similes are, will be able to identify and understand similes in a given text, and will be able to create similes. They will teach their students to identify, understand, and create similes. We say that two things are similar when they are alike. For example, Urdu and Hindi are similar languages. They are not exactly the same. Urdu and Hindi sound similar, but they have different words and are also written differently. The word simile is from the same root as the word similar. A simile is a phrase that shows comparison between two things by using the words like or as. Similes are very easy to spot. We use them to add life to our writing and our speech. For example, instead of saying Sajjad is very slow, I can say Sajjad is as slow as a snail. Of course, Sajjad is not actually as slow as a snail. I am just using a simile to compare him to a snail. This makes it easier for listeners and readers to visualize what we are saying and can also make our writing interesting. Let's describe this picture using a simile. We can see that Kareem is running fast. Let's think of a word or phrase that we can use to complete the above simile. From the images below, which one do you think is something that is really fast and quick? Lightning is very fast. This word can correctly complete our simile. Kareem is running as fast as lightning. Cows are not fast at all. The adjective in the simile above is fast. Rickshaws are not really fast, so this is not a good way to complete the simile. Try again. Both of the examples above use similes that are made using the word as. You may have noticed that the format of a simile is usually as follows. First, we write the comparing word as. Second, we write an adjective. Third, we write as again. And last, we write a noun that can be described by the adjective that we used. For example, in the sentence, Sajjad is as slow as a snail, the simile is as slow as a snail. The simile starts with the comparing word as, then we see the adjective slow, then we see the comparing word as again, and then we see the noun snail that can be correctly described by the adjective slow. As in the example above, we have to be sure that the adjective in the first part of the simile can appropriately be linked to the second part of the simile. For example, if we are describing Shehroz, it would make no sense if I said, his face is as bright as a table, because tables are not bright. I could say, his face is as bright as the sun, or his face is as bright as the moon, because sun and moon are both very bright. In these cases, the relationship between the adjective bright and the nouns sun and moon is as clear as crystal. Another way of forming a simile is by using the word like. The word like is also a comparing word. We are comparing the boxer to something else. Let's fill in the blank with a noun that we want to compare him to. We just saw that the boxer is very fierce. What do you think would be the best word to compare this fierce boxer with? Are elephants fierce? No. Are fans fierce? No. Are tigers fierce? Yes. Are businessmen fierce? Not really. No. In this example, we had both an adjective, fierce, and a noun, tiger. However, with the comparing word like, we don't usually use an adjective. Let's look at some examples. Sarah is like an angel. Sarah is kind, so we are comparing her to an angel. We did not use the word kind in this sentence. Salim and Hasib were fighting a lot, so we compared their fighting to cats and dogs. Fill in the blanks by typing the correct word Find the simile in the sentence and type the whole simile in the blank. Write the definition of similes on the board and explain it by giving examples using adjectives that the children are familiar with to describe objects around the classroom. For example, the board is as black as coal. That is, it is very black.
Children, look at this kitten on the board. It is a very small kitten. I can easily carry it. We want to use a simile to describe its weight. Can you tell me the names of some things that are very light?
Feather.
We can use the word feather to complete our simile. My kitten is as light as a feather. Do you think it is actually as light as a feather?
Yes. No.
Not really, Amna. A feather is very light. My kitten is very small and does not weigh much, but it is not really as light as a feather. Have you ever picked up a feather? You can pick it up with one finger. Can you pick up a kitten with one finger? So you see, a simile is not exact. Similes just help us to imagine something better.
Similes using the word as are a lot more common than ones using the word like. Therefore, focus on practicing as similes with your students. Divide the students into groups and assign them an adjective each. They then have to make similes using the adjectives that they were given. Remember, similes are meant to be creative, so encourage children. If the adjective matches the noun but the simile doesn't sound great, that's still okay.